I'm sharing a few recent plein air paintings from Baja. You'll see they're all started similarly, or I select a composition that I think is interesting. I find a shady spot to sit. In this trip I'm using a pochade box, so I'm without an easel or tripod, so I'm sitting in these locations. I'll either create a shady place or angle myself so that the canvas and palette are in the shade. If I'm using an easel standing up, I'll always try to find shade to work with. Worst case scenario, there's the option of an umbrella, which can complicate things because it adds a lot of movement. Then there's a point where it's just too windy to use an umbrella. So if you're able to get some shade without it, then that is ideal. Select a scene or composition where things aren't moving. You don't want to start a painting of a fisherman loading a boat and 8 minutes later he's gone. That has happened a lot. So the equipment, I go over it in one of these videos, but basically I use the same paints that I use in the studio. So all of my paints, just a couple paint brushes, typically 2 different sizes, turpentine. I use Gamsol. It's a odorless mineral spirit that has a low evaporation rate. Obviously the canvas panels that are going to be painted on, paper towels, the easel or pochade box, and the palette is usually incorporated into the easel or pochade box, but if not, then definitely need a palette. And when I'm using the pochade box, I don't have it on a tripod, so I'm usually seated, so I'll bring a chair. When I start doing bigger paintings, these are 9x12s, but anything bigger than that, I would want to be standing so I can step back from the piece and see it from a little bit further away. 9x12 is just about the limit to being able to have it on your lap and still be able to get back from it a little bit and look at it. So I start with a lay-in, mixing ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson, and do a quick lay-in, either outlining big shapes or noting some lines. The most obvious is a horizon line. I sometimes block in some of the darker shadow areas, and then I work from dark to light, typically. And I usually will start with the most important part of the painting, the subject, and work around it, bringing in the light colors later, the sky, or some lights of the sail or whatever the painting is of. But typically the darker colors first, lighter colors later, working around the most important elements. So you will see, I forget how many paintings, but a few paintings here from start to finish, time-lapse. They go quick, but each one is very similar or same process. And I hope you enjoy these. All right. Hey there, I'm gonna make a painting. I parked the van to give myself some shade because I do not like, I do not like using an umbrella. And you can imagine why, with this wind, is it would go flying away with my palette and canvas. So a little shady spot here. This is the scene I'm gonna do. So I already got my palette loaded up. Here's the palette I use for all my paintings. I threw a couple convenience colors down there. And this is the backpack I use. It's a photography equipment pack, so got all my paints, turpentine, paper towels, and then my brushes are all in here. My wet canvas carrier for when I'm done with the painting. So I'm gonna get this scene done and show you what happens. All right, I found a spot. I was able to tuck off the side of this dirt road into a spot, but I think there's a couple good views. I might even be able to, I don't even know if I don't know if I could be in the shade of this little elephant tree thing. That looks like a beautiful painting right there. Heck yes. And I could sit in the shade. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be really nice. This is on like a super wide angle. So the perspective is kind of fisheye. But this is gonna be cool. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and paint this. Yes. I wedged an umbrella up in the tree, so I will have full shade on my canvas instead of this. Let's see, it was like that. It had this dappled light. Now I'll have full shade. So I'm gonna load up my palette. So I haven't used this palette in a few weeks. I'll load it up. This is my scene. And I'm gonna go with a bit bigger of a brush, a little soupier than normal. And if I start off on the wrong track, I'm just gonna toss it and start another painting. I'm not gonna struggle through anything here. If it's not flowing, then I'll move on. So there's the residual colors there, which is the template for where I lay my new colors. So they're always in the same place and in the same order. And the order, I start with white on the far right, and then I go with my lighter colors. So it'll be my two yellows, cad yellow light, and then darkens to cad yellow deep, and then to cad orange, and then to cad red. I use cad red light, and then alizarin crimson, and then the ultramarine blue, and then cerulean blue. And if I have them, I usually put out a couple gray colors for convenience. This is the same palette that I use in the studio. So there's nothing I can do in one place or the other that I can't do in the other place. Alright, so there's all my colors. They are all down. If I find a warm gray, I'll throw that down as well. What's this? Yeah, that's what I already put down. Portland gray medium. Portland gray warm. All right. There's so much gray there. And my brushes.
So I'm done with that first one. I'm gonna clean my brushes, clean my palette, load up some more paint, drink some water, and paint another one.